Well, good afternoon. Today is Monday, September 25th, and we have some birthdays today. Today is Caden, and Caden is Lainey over at Lainey's Life's grandson, and today is his 11th birthday. Your grandma loves you so much, Caden. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caden. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, Caden, I hope you have a great day. Maybe you'll eat something other than what your grandma eats. Anybody who watches Lainey's Life knows she's very plant-based. But I'm sure she's going to have a slice of cake for Caden's birthday today. So Caden, happy birthday. It's also Aurora's birthday. So Aurora, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aurora. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. I had to write them down because there are a few today. Connie Scheitel, S-H-Y-T-L-E, Scheitel. Connie, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Connie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And Linda Berkowitz. Linda, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all 4 of you have a great birthdays today. But we also have an anniversary today because today is James and Terry Evans' anniversary. I don't know how many years, but I know that they're married. And I know it's their anniversary. So James and Terry, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great anniversary today. Well, what are my plans for today? Christy's going to come and clean my house. I pay her. She comes every other week. This way I have somebody come in every week. Christy wants to clean my house, and so I said, okay, I'll pay you. And so she said, okay. So you don't have to twist her arm. And then Sophia's going to come over, and she's going to cut the grass. That's Jim's landscaper. I don't know how many more times we're going to need her because the weather is starting to change. I have a long sleeve shirt on. I'm a little chilly. It's a little chilly willy out here. It's 62 degrees right now. A little breezy. And but I got to get every minute that I can out here because soon enough I'm going to be trapped in the house. And you know how much I don't like that. I like being outside as much as I can be outside. My sinuses are draining a little bit, but so they're going to come. And then the people that are working on the basement came and they brought their supplies. They brought my flooring. Looks just as nice as when we picked it out. So they have my flooring and they have the paint. What else? And the trim, because they got to put the trim up. See, when these other people, when they came, they took so much stuff that they didn't have to do. Now, they could have taken the trim off without damaging it. I mean, it might have taken a half a second longer to do, but they just ripped it all out. And they got rid of all of the, like the hoses for the toilets and so we've got to buy new toilet hoses and sink hoses. You didn't have to throw those away. They threw those away. Threw the sink away. Threw the faucet away with the sink, so we had to buy a new faucet. We had to buy a new vanity. We had to buy a new sink. Well, we bought the sink vanity together. We bought the sink, the vanity. What else did we buy? We went the other day. I thought it was pretty good because they're going to reimburse us first. But we bought the sink and the vanity and the toilet and the hoses. And I think that was it. And it come to $400. So I didn't think that was too bad. They're gonna, because we wanted to pick our own out, so we just bought it, and then they're just gonna deduct that from whatever the charges of what they figured that in for the what do you call it, the cost of repairing the basement. So we got a vanity, sink, all one unit, and we just had to buy the faucet and the hoses, obviously, and then the toilet came with the toilet seat and the wax ring, and it did have the connections, so that was good. So we got that. We got all that stuff. So once again, I'm parked out in front. I'm not allowed to park in the garage because there's so much room and there's so much stuff in the garage. And then I did get a call from Advanced Restoration. I say the name a lot because I want you to avoid it if you're in this area. And if they're a national chain, I want you to avoid them. So it's not like I'm publicizing them because they're good. I'm just letting you know to stay away from Advanced Restoration. Because the bookkeeper called me this morning Very nice young girl. I could tell she was young. You know, you can tell people's ages by their voices sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. But she says, well, yes, I'm calling about your balance. I said, well, I mailed you a check that you got on Thursday. Because I send it certified mail. And so she says, oh, yeah, let me check. And then she checks. She says, oh, yes, I did see it on there. But we're just calling about the remaining balance. And I said, as my letter stated, I have no intention of paying any more than that. This is what the insurance company thought was fair and reasonable. And it was within the budget. It was in the estimated cost that your representative Eric had given me. It was well within the range of what he had suggested. So I have no intention of paying you any more money. And so she said, okay, thank you. I will let them know. And I said, okay, thank you. You have a good day. She says, you too. I thought, why am I going to snap at the bookkeeper? She's not the one that's, you know, charged me all that much money. It was the guy that owns the place. His name is Darren. But I could tell, like in the beginning, she had called and I was in the bathroom when she called, and when I called her right back, and so I said, well, I missed your call, and she said, you're on my list of calls today. So okay, that tells me I am not the only one that's giving them a hard time about their practices. So I'm going to fight it as much as I can. I think I'm going to end up eventually having to pay it, but not before a fight on my end, that's for sure, because I'm not going to roll over for that. It's just the restorations cost me more than I needed to pay because of the stuff that they did that they didn't need to do. So I'm thinking that I'm paying somebody else, which you would have had, whatever. I don't know. So, and then last night before I went to bed, I probably shouldn't watch this kind of documentary, but I watched a documentary on Netflix called Poisoned. It's about the food handling, how foods are. And they had some guy, the lawyer or whatever, and he was going through the supermarket showing you everything he would never buy, and he never buys. It's stuff I buy. You know, like, I don't always buy it. A lot of times I like to make my own salad, but sometimes in a pinch I'll buy the bag lettuce. Although I've heard that's the problem. When you have some kind of an outbreak, it's always the bag lettuce. But I wash it really well. There used to be, and maybe if there is, you can let me know in the comments below, but there used to be a vegetable wash that you used to be able to buy that I remember back in the day, I used to put my fruit in a big bowl of water that had this, it was like a detergent type of thing that you put this, it was, you know, safe to eat, obviously, but you would put all your fruit in this bowl, and you would put a bowl of water, and you'd put this detergent, I don't know other word to call it, or like a vegetable fruit cleaner or whatever, and it would clean all the gunk off of it and make it safer to eat. And they even said too that sometimes people buy organic because they think that's better because it's not had all the chemicals and the sprays and stuff like that. And no, not the case. It comes from the water that they use. And they showed this one farm that the one side of the canal was, as far as you could see, was them growing lettuce. As far as you could see, it was lettuce, romaine lettuce, and it was so pretty. It was all this green. It was beautiful. And then on the other side of the canal, as far as you could see, were cattle in like containers, not containers, but, you know, like fencing that, not free range. They were waiting to be killed or slaughtered or whatever the better word for it. That's not really a better word, is it? But anyway, and then they were all there. And then all of the mess from the animals was going into the water, and then the water was being sprayed onto from their water irrigation system onto the plants, and so that's how it got infected. It was like, but so even if it's organic. But anyway, if anybody knows of any kind of a cleaner that I can use on my fruits and vegetables, because I really would like that. But this guy never buys romaine lettuce ever. He said because it's always the one, and he said spinach, two of my favorites. When I make a salad, I love using romaine lettuce and I love using spinach. I'm still going to use it, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit cleaner. And then he originally had talked about the ground beef breakout with the Jack in the Box back in the 90s when all these kids mostly died from the meat was because it wasn't cooked properly. And now they said since 1993 there's not been an outbreak of salmonella in meat because of the new standards. So they're trying to pass some laws in Congress to change the law, to change the things for like our everyday foods. And then they did an interview with Purdue Chicken, which is the chicken I usually buy. I usually buy that or Tyson. the 2 chickens I usually buy. But I do buy, now I do buy, but in a pinch if I run out, I always get the butcher box chicken, which is like, they're really, you know, I think they're a little bit better as far as taking care of their foods. But in a pinch, if I run out of chicken and I want to have chicken in the night, I'll just go and pick up some Tyson's or Purdue or something like that. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they showed that. So it's to the point that I don't really want to eat. Obviously, which I never eat anyhow, is like fruit already cut up. Denise and I will split a watermelon, and I'll eat half of the watermelon and he'll eat the other half. Jim doesn't eat watermelon. Jim's very picky. Kat on Point pointed that out the other day on her video. And yes, Kat, you're correct. Jim is very, 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 very picky about what he eats. So, but not picky in a way that's healthy. I should clear that up. But, so I was just like, oh, I don't know. And then what else was they said? I was amazed at the different foods that they said that, you know, and then they showed how I was sad because they showed how, you know, you don't think about it, but they showed like the chickens, and they're like little chicks, and then they're going down this assembly line, and then at the end of the assembly line, and it wasn't a big drop, but it was a drop, and they drop off, and then they go into these little containers, and then they go through, and then they're sprayed with all this chemicals and stuff, and then they're put in their little things to, I don't know, it kind of turned me off from food. It really did. So I don't know if it was just watching that or what, but when I went to bed last night, I had a stomach ache. I kept thinking, I wonder if my meat, I wonder if it was in the freezer too long. You know, I wonder if my carrots that I had my mind is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So I thought, oh no. And so then I woke up this morning and I don't want to eat. I am going to eat, obviously I am going to eat, but it's like, no, I don't really think I want to eat. But that's just, I know I'm a flake. I'm a weirdo. I know that, but it was just, it was eye-opening. And even when I was watching it, Jim said, you of all people should not be watching this. And he was right. I of all people should not have been watching that because it just kind of threw me off of wanting to eat food. It'll only last today. Oh, another thing they said was berries, strawberries. Strawberries are the worst. Strawberries are my favorite. So I'm really going to be scrubbing those. So anyway, and then I'm going to start another book. I'm going to finish it. You know, in the cooler weather, I don't read as much because I'm not outside as much. I like to read when I'm in the house. You know, when I'm outside, I don't like to read in the house. And Jim's calling me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, what we were saying about my reading is that in the summer, I like to sit outside here and I like to read, and then I don't like to be in the house, and so I stay out here longer to read. And then when I'm in the house, I always can spot, well, I should probably dust that, but now I have a house cleaner. I don't have to worry about looking for those kind of things. But I'm always like trying to catch up on the shows that I've taped, and so I don't read as much, so I won't be reading a book every other day. Like I guess that's all in a nutshell. It'll take me a little bit longer to read a book. But this is the book I'm going to read now. It's called by Lisa Jackson, After She's Gone. This was on my bookshelf, so I don't know how long I've had this book. I usually pick them up and then I don't really read them right away. This is from 2016, so maybe I've read it. We'll see. But let's see if Casey Kramer and her younger sister Allie learned the hazards of fame long ago. Together they survived the horror of a crazed fan who nearly killed their mother, former Hollywood actress Jenna Hughes. Still, Cassie moved to LA, urging Allie to follow. As a team, they take the town by storm. But Allie, finally free of a small-town Oregon, is it Oregon or Oregon? I think it's Oregon. And just then, that little bit more beautiful also proved to be a little bit more talented and driven. Where Cassie got bit parts, Allie rose to stardom. But now her body double has been shot on the set of her latest movie, and Allie is missing. Sounds like my kind of a book. Denise took the other library book because they only had the one. They didn't have enough books, and so we're going to share it. I like to read it just a couple days before I'm going to go, so I'm a little bit more attuned to what's going on. But another reason, hopefully, I won't be reading as much is because I think they were talking yesterday that it sounds like the writer's strike is almost over. And so then they'll start writing again, and then the actors will follow, hopefully. And my shows can start coming back on. I've noticed all these stupid game shows that are coming up because there's nothing to put in the fall lineup. So they're putting all these, to me, dumb. Dumb. Of course, you know, everybody has their taste. You know, I love Big Brother. I just love Big Brother. And other people, Jim can't stand it. You know, he'll say, oh, Big Brother. But my brother watches it. And so we'll like compare notes a lot of times. Denise will watch it too, but Mary doesn't watch it. But Danny and Christy watch it. So we're always comparing notes in that. Our prediction for this week, for Thursday, is we all agree that we think Cam is going to be the one coming back. I think that the people want to work with Cam more than they do with Jared. And I think that whoever comes back will have at least 1 week of safety. So that Cam is really pitching that he wants to go to the jury house. He said he don't care if he stays to the end, although they all say that. But he really wants to go to the jury house because I guess you get more money or something, or it's better financially for you if you go to the, I don't know what. Well, probably because they still pay you, whereas if they send you home, then you got to go back to work right away. Whereas if they send you to the jury house, then he's got till November just to collect money from there. Collect money just to sit around. Who turned that down? But anyway, my prediction is that Cam is gonna win, and that Felicia will be going home. That's my hope. That is my hope, because she's annoying. She's very annoying. She's just annoying to me. Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite? My favorite is Cam. My least favorite is Felicia. I don't want Sarita to win because she wins on every. She's been on too many shows. My theory is you've been on one and done. You're down. Get out. Unless you have an All Stars, then I'll say okay. But she's been on Survivor. She's been on. Now she's been on Big Brother. She was on Traitors. I'm sure she's been on other things that I didn't know about. That's just my take on that. We'll just see. We'll just let it go at that. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, which was kind of like the topic of the week for Weight Watchers, is just saying no to how to say yes to saying no. You know, kind of making it acceptable to say no and not feeling guilty about it. So that's why my thumbnail was to say that you can say no to relationships. And relationships don't necessarily always have to be one-on-one with people. Relationships are with food, because all of us have a relationship with our food and our food choices. And we have to really have a good relationship with our food. Otherwise, our food's going to turn on us and make us feel like that Netflix thing, poisoned. We're going to feel poisoned. Not literally, but, you know, somewhat. Figuratively, is when you're not eating properly, you feel bad. You just feel sick. You just know that it's not right for your body. You need the right minerals and stuff. You still need to have some sweets in your life. Let's face it, you just really do. But sometimes it's hard to say no without feeling guilty. And we just need to learn to say yes without feeling resentment. Saying yes to saying no is what I mean. I know that makes no sense, but, you know, just because you turn something down, don't feel resentful that I can't go with you to the pizza party because I can't have pizza. Just think, you know, well, why don't I go to the pizza party with you, but maybe I'll just have a salad, you know, something like that. But we have to learn to accept our relationship with our food and make better choices, and don't let our food determine what we're going to do. Let us determine what we're going to do with our food. You know, like, it's hard. It's just so hard for me to turn away some types of food. And I do feel accomplished, and I don't feel resentful when I say, yes, I don't need you. You know, I don't need you today. I don't need you a big bowl of ice cream. Will I need it tomorrow? Maybe. But right now, no, I don't need you. So you just have to get your relationships correct with food and learn where you're going to make smarter choices. So that's my goal for this week, is to learn to say no, but not feel resented, not feeling so resentful of the fact that I'm saying no. And that doesn't necessarily mean I got to say no to everything, but I can't say, I have to say no every day to something. I really do, because otherwise I'll go back to where I was before. I'm like, well, what's it going to hurt to have this one piece of candy? Well, what's it going to hurt to have this one, you know, bowl of ice cream? You know, then after a while, it's like every day it's acceptable. I was going crazy. Just, oh, you know what? I'm hungry. I think I'll just have a handful of M&Ms or something. Oh, I'm hungry. I think I'll just have a couple cookies. You know, I'm really, really hungry. I think I'm going to have some nuts because they're healthy, but not measure them out. Just take like a whole handful. I got a pretty good hand, pretty good size hand, and I'm thinking my hand holds more than a quarter cup. You can really stack it in there and hold it up to your, I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks, but Anyway, like I said, I'm going to sit out here as long as I can. It's 63 degrees today. I think it's supposed to rain. My spider is moved over there. Here's my buddy. Denise said he's dead, but I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't want to touch him. I don't want to disturb him. The mosquitoes are terrible. Oh my gosh, the mosquitoes are terrible. We've had so much rain lately, and it's damp, and with everybody's sewers backing up, and they just bred. And it was, oh, okay, let's have a breeding party, because oh my gosh, they bred like you wouldn't believe. And we have so many mosquitoes. They're everywhere. Thankfully, they land on me, and then you can see their little legs and that moving, because I'll watch them. I'm fascinated by them. And then they'll fly away, and they don't bite me. I don't know. I must not be sweet enough for them. Must be, maybe I'm sweet and sour. I don't know. But I can let them land on me. I can watch. Denise was having a fit yesterday because she was over. And because the people were doing the inspection on her house, they found a few. They always find something. So they found a few things that she's got to fix before closing, but nothing really major. So, but anyway, I had a mosquito. She says, you have a mosquito on your hand. I go, oh yeah, I do. And I was just like looking at it. She said, well, brush it off. And I go, it's not going to bother me. And I went over and bit her. They love her. We would go, when we would go to the cottage and we'd have to share the bed, we'd sleep in the same bed. We'd wake up in the morning and she would be bit all over her whole body, and I would have not one bug bite on me. It was like they walked over me to get to her. She'd always say, I was like a smorgasbord last night. I was the table where they sat at. Let's go get our food and let's come back and sit on Sandy and eat our food type of thing. Okay, now I'm just getting silly. So let me show you a clip of Christy and Sophia when they get here. I'm not going to show you my food today. I don't know how much I'm going to actually eat after watching that video. Obviously, I'm going to eat. Don't worry about me. I am going to eat, but I'm not going to eat crazy. But I'll show you my food tomorrow. But today, I just don't feel like it. So you can't see it. No, you can't. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And check out your relationship with food. Do you have a good relationship or a bad relationship? Or is it one like you just never know day to day? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys soon. Christy's trying to pawn off some of her work on Sophia, who just did all of her work.
Well, she doesn't do any work at home, so she should help.
Or cream Earl Grey, I'm not sure what it is. I got it.
She's ignoring you.
Lidditz. And in there, I have a half a teaspoon of
and then we're watching
sugar and
Joan.
1
Christy's amazed that you named your chickens
milk,
and you still eat your chickens.
So that is what I am having for you.